Hi everyone, it's Casey Williams. Well, I've been really excited to show you this car since we first drove it last summer in California. And the reason I'm really excited about it is I own an older edition of this vehicle. It's the 2020 Subaru Outback. It's totally new for 2020, and we've got the top touring edition to show you. Let's go have a look at it. Well, one thing you have to say for sure is Subaru understands its Outback customers. They had a chance, and they talked about, and the designers talked about, radically changing this car. They could have made it a super sleek wagon, they could have made it a sport wagon, or they could have made it really tall and boxy, more like a crossover. But the one thing their Outback customers told them was, I want a wagon. I want the space of a crossover, and in fact the Subaru Outback is the best-selling midsize crossover. But I want it to look like a wagon. So they did. And when you look at this car, you're gonna have a hard time telling it's a brand new car, even though all the sheet metal is absolutely brand new on this car. So look at the front of it. Again, just a little more integrated, just looks a little more expensive. The LED adaptive headlamps, they swivel in corners. LED fog lamps down below. Again, just gives a little more of an upscale appearance and brings all the new technology in. Come around the side of it, there's going to be no mistaking this car for anything but an Outback. 20-inch alloy wheels. Of course, you got the black plastic to protect from rocks and sticks on the trails. Added some black plastic around the wheel wells, again, to further protect the car. Roof rack still has the cross members that come over and lock, so you can put things on top. Those are already built in, you don't have to buy them extra. And if you remember the old Touring edition, it used to have a smaller roof rack. So they've gone ahead and put the big roof rack, a little more flexibility. Also added some tie downs on the front and on the back, just to make it a little more useful. Again, I think they probably already had the best luggage rack in the business, but they made it a little bit better. When you see the side, again, it just looks like a longer car. It is slightly longer, the body's slightly longer. Looks sleeker. This part of the window line comes out to more of a peak. Again, I think the car just looks a little more elegant, looks a little classier, just looks a little more modern, I think. Come around the back. Again, this is the Touring edition, so you've got some of the satin silver finishes here on the bumper. The trademark tail lamp designs are still here. It does have a foot-operated hatch, but I'll do it with the button. And inside, one of the things I've always loved about our Outback that we own, lots of space in the back. It's only a 5-passenger car, but you've got all this luggage space. They make these really great floor mats that go in. Back seats flip down, just tons and tons of space. And one real nice advantage of the Outback compared to some other crossovers is that the body sits a little bit lower. It's a little bit high. It's not as high as some of the other crossovers. So if you have a kayak, you have a bicycle, it's easy to get on the luggage rack, it's easy to get them into the back, and the car is really flexible and useful. The Subaru Outback is one of those interesting cars where it really has a broad spectrum of buyers. There are buyers who buy this car at under $27,000, and then those who buy a car like this is closer to $40,000. So they've been able to make cars that really cover the gamut. So a few years ago, some of their customers, and a lot of Outback customers make well over $100,000. Said, I like my Outback, I like everything about it. I just wish it had some more of the luxury features that I might get from some of the European cars. So that's when they came out with the Touring edition. And if you look at the interior, it really lives up to that standard. They have the brown leather seats, which I think are just fantastic. They're cushiony, nice thick bolsters on the side. But they don't dig into your side, so it's just, you can drive this car all day long and be comfortable in it. Really upgraded the dash, the brown leather right here, stitching in it. I like the stitching in the seats as well, stitching along the console. And for this redesigned car, really integrated things a lot better. Just looks a lot smoother, the dash just looks a little more upscale, just looks like it was a little better thought out. There's a little shelf here to put your smartphone, put your devices here, just fits right in, rubber lined. I think that's very nice. Console here, you can get the wireless phone charger in here if you want it. USBs are in here to plug your devices. Of course, the car has Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. Nice deep cup holders. Console here as well. You can get a CD player if you want it. It goes in the console. But the thing that most people will really look at if they've had Outbacks in the past especially, is the new tablet-style touchscreen. It's really nice, easy to use, large, easy to read, easy to navigate. One button right here in the middle. You've got navigation, and that's supplied by TomTom. It is just about as easy as it can be to use. Radio, your media players all go through here, phone, and apps. So again, all this is very nice. There's a little button here for the car, a little car button on it. We'll talk about X mode in a minute, but X mode is a new, they've had the X mode for a while, but they've enhanced it for this vehicle. It's your off-road mode. So if you're hitting some trails and going up hills, going down hills, it reconfigures the all-wheel drive system, traction control, and it also gives you hill descent control. So it'll creep itself down steep banks, steep inclines while you're off-roading. It does that semi-automatically. It's very nice. This car does have auto stop start, which I don't like. but you can turn it off, and this is where you turn it off here. It has a driver monitoring system, so it's a drowsy alert system. It'll watch your face, watch your movements, and will alert you if the car thinks you're drowsy. So I think that's all very nice stuff. Car has the Harman Kardon audio system, has the power sunroof, heated seats, ventilated seats in the front, heated leather-wrapped steering wheel. In the Touring Edition, it's a little bit softer leather. Again, just feels very nice. You've got heated leather seats in the back. And one of the things I like that Subaru does too in this car is a lot of competitors, this is hard plastic, or it's soft touch up here, but it's hard in the back. And this is this nice, really soft door materials all the way through the car. I think it's all just very, very nice. It feels very upscale. Nice thick steering wheel. And let's talk about the safety here. Well, being an upscale Subaru, it's going to have the full gamut of that. So it's got the eyesight system, and what it does, it uses twin cameras here for the lane keep assist system, the adaptive cruise control, the forward collision alert system, and the forward collision auto brake system. The car also has blind spot warning, has rear cross path detection, and it's got the rear collision alert with auto brake in the back as well. So it really has the full gamut, like I said, of all the safety here on this car. So, as far as comparing it to a luxury car, you're really on par with what you'd look at in a Volvo V60 Cross Country at a significantly reduced price. Well, one of the biggest changes to this car is the powertrain choices for 2020. Still have a base 4-cylinder engine. It's a horizontally opposed engine, which the advantage of that is it keeps all the weight low down the chassis and improves handling. But instead of having the 6-cylinder engine, they've upgraded the car to a Turbo 4. So it has 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. It's plenty of power in a car like this. It gives it plenty of acceleration. Get on the highway, no problem. If you want to do some off-roading, enough torque to do that as well. It has torque vectoring all-wheel drive, automatic all-wheel drive system, but it actually kind of oversteers the back end of the car a little bit in corners and just kind of tightens that corner a little bit, gives you a little bit better handling. I think it's fantastic. Fuel economy is still pretty good. Even with the turbo, it's 23 miles per gallon in the city, 30 miles per gallon on the highway, which I think is pretty good for a car like this with all-wheel drive. But some of the other things that you're really going to notice on this car as well driving it. Brand new body structure. It just feels a lot more solid. The suspension's been completely reworked. Where my car, 2017 edition, it rides nice, it rides smooth enough, but on really hard bumps, you can kind of feel the suspension just kind of clunk a little bit and just kind of hesitate a little bit, where this tends to glide over it more like you'd expect in a European car. It just feels a lot more refined, a lot quieter. Again, the body structure is just tighter. The car just feels just overall more refined when you're driving it. So I think they've done a really nice job with that. But behind the wheel, I like the new seats, I like the interior, I like the steering wheel, I really like this. I like they have a proper volume and tuning knob, as I always say. As glassy and as sleek and as cool as all this is, it's also, pretty ergonomically correct. Volume tuning, you've got buttons here for the climate control. Defrosters are here as well. Very easy to use. Down below, the automatic climate control settings are all here. Very good. You press this button. You've got a front camera now in the car. So if you are doing some trails or you're trying to kind of get out of traffic and get between a couple of buildings, get into traffic and see around stuff, you can press that and it's got a camera in the nose. You can kind of poke out there and see what's out in front of you. But the car is great. I look forward to, I had a little time in it this week, got on the highway just a little bit. I wish I could load up the family and go drive it 1,000 miles. And if history is any indicator of the future, I know I'd like it very, very much. Well, Subaru absolutely knows their Outback customers well. They know they want a well-built wagon that has the space of a mid-size crossover. They want to drive like a car, but still have some off-road capability when they want it. And this car does all that very well. And like I said, my family and I have a 2017 edition. And we bought it for all the right reasons. We wanted a car that would have enough space for us, get all the luggage in it, I've got a kid, get good gas mileage. And again, when you get a 12 inches of snow on the ground, you just kind of shrug your shoulders and go to work and don't worry about it. And the car's been exactly what we want it to be. But I gotta tell you, I'm pretty jealous of this one. I like the new body structure. It's a lot stiffer, I like the new chassis. I love that new turbo engine. I love the Touring interior, the new touch screen. I like everything about this car. So if you've had Outbacks in the past, I think Subaru will really make you happy with this one. And if you had other wagons or other crossovers and you'd never considered an Outback in the past, I think you'd find a lot to like in this one as well. So let's talk about price. Well, the car starts under $27,000, which is, I think, pretty affordable for a mid-size crossover. This one, as equipped, $40,705. Completely all in. So if you're cross-shopping other vehicles, the Buick wagon, that car is going to be almost exactly the same price with the same equipment on it. If you're looking at a Volvo V60 cross country, you'll spend about another $15,000 for a comparable car. So also pretty good value amongst its competitors. Well, next week we'll have another fun car. Until then, storm forward.